Hey guys, data mines just dropped and we have a lot of new content, a lot of new equipment, a single new Zenkai, and a couple new characters coming our way tonight, and I wanted to go over everything we have coming our way, starting with the main man himself, Mr. Demon King Piccolo. Now look, I know that a lot of people aren't too hype maybe for OGDB. Personally, I love Dragon Ball, the original show. Um, Obviously, like in this game, it hasn't had the best rep, it hasn't had the best releases, it really hasn't been a meta team pretty much ever, honestly, for the most part. Um, and this guy right here, way back in the day, we had Yellow Demon King Piccolo, excuse me, and when that guy got a Zenkai, bro, he was crazy. He was shredding through the meta like peanut butter and jelly. Um, and yeah, I mean, honestly though, this new release, he does kind of look like a bit of a crackhead. But I mean, the art is unique, to say the least. Um, but his kit is very interesting. This is like the first, I guess, really the start of the new era of Legends where they're toning down on giving units everything under the sun, giving them all disrupt. Like for the past couple years, right? Pretty much every unit gets the same thing. They get a lot of damage, a lot of tankiness, usually a second life mechanic like endurance, comeback, or in the case of Damagoku, right? Indestructible, and they're just super tanky. They do a ton of damage. They have a lot of disrupt, a lot of cover null, and it's just made the game really, really hard to play and enjoy. And the dev team have taken notice, and they did tell everybody, hey, we're gonna try and fix things. And this really is the. I mean, we did have Mercenary Tao and Zenkai Yamcha, but this is the first like premium release of their like new initiative to kind of scale things back and take things back to where they used to be, where units had their niches and teams had their niches. And for example, Regen was known to be a really tanky team that would heal a lot. We had a lot of Sun Family releases that were really good damage and combo machines, I guess. And things used to actually like units used to have their own characteristics, right? And they're definitely going for that again with this Dragon Ball team. So let's go into his kit here. Obviously, I don't want to go over the whole thing. This kid's been up all day. A lot of breakdown videos on him. So we're just gonna kind of summarize things. But the gist of it is Dragon Ball, and I'm not talking about the saga. I'm talking about Dragon Balls. He has pause. He has his entire kit is basically built around Dragon Balls, collecting Dragon Balls, securing Dragon Balls, and basically every time he every time he gains a Dragon Ball, he gets stronger. He does more damage. He does a lot. I mean, look at all this, right? On Rising Rush activation, he destroys the entire hand. He basically has a 25% chance of, I guess, your Rising Rush getting guessed, which is pretty interesting. This thing right here. I'm not sure how strong that's actually gonna be. Could have kind of hurt you, but yeah, destroy entire hand, then draw one of each strike, blast, special, and special move arts, that's gonna be pretty funny. But he does obviously a lot of healing, a lot of damage, subcount manipulation. Everything's kind of tied to him drawing Dragon Balls and using his Rising Rush. He's basically designed to to be a unit that like you want to use your Rising Rush as soon as you can, because his unique gauge is actually tied on gaining Dragon Balls. So if you don't have the ability to gain Dragon Balls, your unique gauge isn't actually gonna charge, um, which is obviously very important. And I'm not really sure exactly how this is gonna work. We'll just have to see it in game. But yeah, that's pretty interesting. Um, Other than that, one thing that's really interesting about his kit is this. That is way higher. Damage guard is basically damage cut. It's the same exact thing, just reworded. And we've never had a unit with this much damage guard or damage cut before. I think usually most units are around 70 to 80% for the most part. Mercenary Tao recently had 90%, which was really, really high. But him being a free-to-play unit, he wasn't really that tanky and very good. 130% is really high, but it is important to note this guy does not heal very much in his kit. He heals on his main, and I believe he heals on, yeah, he heals on Rising Rush activation here, but he doesn't even heal on his green card, which for a regen unit, I feel like is a little bit weird. They could have given him some heal over here, but it is what it is. But like it shows they are scaling back on giving units everything. He doesn't actually have like what I would imagine is what they're going for is basically they're gonna reduce units disruption and all the utility that units have had for the past couple years, right? They're gonna scale back on that, but basically these two stats are gonna get way higher as new units drop. I think probably by anniversary, every unit released prior to anniversary basically have been power crept by these two stats right here, damage and damage guard, and obviously it's already started with this release. So yeah, they're definitely 130% is way higher than any premium unit has ever had before, so definitely he doesn't have healing and disrupt, so he's basically just gonna have to be he's just gonna have to be tanky. Like that's what they're going for. He's just gonna be naturally tanky, and depending on how high his stats are is really gonna determine how well he does. We'll just have to see in game. But that is very interesting, and I'm excited to see how he performs. Again, the kind of gimmick that they're going for with the Dragon Ball team, Dragon Ball Saga team, is Dragon Balls, like drawing Dragon Balls and protecting Dragon Balls. And you know, Daima is a team that has a ton of Dragon Ball reduction with Majin Ku. They also have a bunch of ways to gain Dragon Balls as well. So this is kind of like countering that team as well, but also kind of like gonna make it a little easier to deal with them, I guess. Because it honestly it takes forever to get a Rising Rush when you're fighting Daima, unless you use Daima yourself, right? Like it's really annoying trying to build up to a Rising Rush with fighting against Daima. So this is pretty cool. Yeah, I'm excited to see how he fares in PvP. With that said, let's move on to the next unit, Mr. Tambourine. Alrighty, so before we get into this guy's kit, I do want to say one thing. When it comes to Tambourine, look, for those who don't know, Krillin, right? Krillin is like my favorite character in all of Dragon Ball, okay? And Tambourine, well, he does Krillin pretty dirty in the original Dragon Ball show. And you know what? I'm okay with what happened narrative-wise. It was, look, I kind of have a beef with Tambourine here because of what he did. But you know what? It's not a big deal. It's been like 50 years since that, 45 years or something, right? 40 years since that happened. So I'm willing to forgive and forget. But his kit better be good, okay? Alright. Starting with his main ability. Alright, let's go. Your body's perfect for pain. Destroy one random card, then draw ultimate arts next. Restores HP by 30%. Restores ki by 50. Cancel attributes downgrades and abnormal conditions. Cancel enemy attribute upgrades and seal all enemy main abilities for 10 counts. Wow, that's actually this right here is actually pretty strong. Other than that, it's a pretty standard main ability. It doesn't do anything crazy. He does have an ultimate arts. By the way, when they dropped his like a little teaser in the beginning earlier today, I did not really pay attention. I was more interested in DKP, and I was like, I'll just take a look at his kit when the data mines drop, and so here we are. But yeah, main ability is not bad. Nothing that's gonna make or break this unit. Pretty solid standard issue stuff. Moving on to his starter ability. Right, okay, so 240% to damage inflicted, 30% to strike damage. His damage guard is only 110, which is, I believe, 20% less than what DKP has, which is interesting. And, you know, given that he's a 1% sparking, he's going to already have naturally lower defenses than DKP will, so he's definitely, whatever DKP it does tanking-wise, I'm sure he's going to do significantly worse than that, which is fine. We'll see how he does. 40% key recovery and card draw speed, level 1 card draw speed increase. Okay. And when there's at least one other tag DB ally battle member, he increases the team's ally damage inflicted by 30%, and he also reduces ally sub counts on switch by 1. Not bad, okay. The Demon King's assassin. On battlefield entry, draw 1 card if hand has 3 or fewer, restores HP by 50%, ki by 50, and reduces enemy ki by 20. On strike and blast arts hit, activation resets on switch. Okay, he draws a strike arts next, restores ki by 30, and he has he has like a bit of burst damage here. Damage increased by 50% for 5 counts. On cover change, ally sub counts reduction by 3 counts, enemy ki reduction by 30, and he reduces enemy Dragon Balls by 1 2 times. And that doesn't reset, so it's just gonna be twice. Not bad actually, pretty solid, I guess. He could have a little bit. I mean, I'm gonna assume he doesn't have disrupt like when his health drops below 50%. So this is basically his entire disrupt here, I would imagine. And when you keep that in mind, it's not bad. Yeah, okay. When on standby, an ally is hit by enemy arts, activates twice. Activations reset on battlefield entry. He reduces sub count by 1. Okay. Cool. He can switch out pretty quickly there. When on battlefield and 1 Dragon Ball is gained, critical rate increased by 10% up to 30%. Vanishing gauge increased by he gains 50% vanish back. And this can really, I mean, you're only gonna gain Dragon Balls in the middle of a combo, right? For the most part, unless like I don't know, green or a main ability gets it, but otherwise mostly in a combo. So you're not gonna be able to like, you're just gonna. It's still strong, but that's something to keep in mind. Nullify. Oh my God, is this cover null? His cover null is tied to gaining a Dragon Ball. Oh, that's trash. Oh my God. I mean, it's not trash, but that's really weird. Gaining Dragon Ball is just so, it can be so inconsistent, and for his cover null to be like completely dependent on gaining a Dragon Ball is, I don't know, guys. That does not look very good for this guy. Yeah, that does not. I mean, it goes in line with this niche of everything. His entire kit, his entire existence, basically being built around Dragon Balls. But that might be a little too much. Too much of a constraint on cover null. I don't like that. And the last part of his unique here is, when not defeated and 1 Dragon Ball is gained, ally health increased by 5%, increases ally damage by 15% for 10 counts, and cancel ally attribute downgrades. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good actually. Nice bit of support there. And he has a special cover change against strike cards. Okay, that's fine. Z ability. Okay, let's see what his Z ability. Okay, he buffs strike attack and defense for tag DB, element green or element yellow. And he also buffs 18% to tag DB's blast defense. That's fine. It's always funny when you see a unit. Whenever a unit buffs a color in their Z ability, that's like a very big sign they're gonna be trash or age very poorly. Obviously not necessarily, but yeah. When was the last time we had a unit that buffed colors in their Z ability and actually was like a really strong, long, relevant unit for a long time? I honestly, I can't remember. It's okay though. I mean, he doesn't have any other tags, so what else is he gonna buff, right? Okay. Oh. Okay, his strike card gives him a +1 Dragon Ball 10% chance. That's pretty interesting. Yeah, that's not bad actually. That's actually okay. That does make his kit a little bit more safer, I guess, knowing that you could potentially draw a Dragon Ball when you use a strike card. So that's actually pretty important. Only 10%, but anything higher would be too crazy, I would imagine. Taking a look at his blast is just is normal. There's nothing there. Taking a look at his green card, he unwavering confidence. Draw special move arts next twice. Restore 50 ki. Nullify element disadvantages for 3 counts. Remove rising rush seal. That's pretty good. And ally damage plus 20% for 15 counts, and sub count reduction. Sub count increase actually for the enemy. So you could potentially snipe with this, but most units do have sub count reduction when like pop a blue or pop a an ult or a rising rush. So, but you could still snipe with like a strike or a blast card. So that's still pretty powerful in the right moment. Aerial Demon Assault, his blue card here. What do we have? Blaster. Okay, it's a melee blue. Special move damage increase 30%. Restores Vanish by 50%. 100% reduction to enemies HP restore, which is actually really nice, especially strong against all the healing that Daima has when you pop a blue. So that's good. And he actually gains a Dragon Ball twice on hit and reduces enemy ki by 60. Nice, that's a good blue. I like that. Taking a look at his ultimate arts here. Okay, 50% damage increase for ultimate damage. Increases Dragon Ball by 1. Debuffs enemies damage received by 15% for 30 counts. And on hit, he destroys entire enemy hand and reduces their Dragon Ball by 1. And of course, it's an ultimate, so you're only going to land it once. I'm pretty sure he doesn't draw it multiple times like Tao does. That would be crazy. And it is a melee ultimate with blast armor. Okay. Okay, there's a lot to digest here. Okay, so I'm gonna say this. Their decision to make everything in his kit revolve around Dragon Balls is gonna make or break the unit. Unfortunately, I do think he's a little too dependent on Dragon Balls, especially his cover null. Like, they did him dirty with that. Like, come on. You can give him 3 counts of cover null, like at least off like his green or something, right? Dang, they're definitely being stingy with the cover null for these new releases. So hey, I mean, we'll see how he does. Overall, other than the cover null thing, I actually do like his kit. It's gonna be very interesting to see how he performs. But yeah, I'm gonna give him a thumbs up. Preliminary thumbs up, just because he's very unique, very interesting, and yeah. But I will say, you know, he probably won't. He definitely does not look as good as DKP, and he probably won't make as much of an impact or last very long in the meta, unfortunately. But it is what it is. It's only Tambourine, right? Alright, so taking a look at the new equip here, I believe we only have 2 new equips. I could be wrong. I'll double check, but starting with this new equip, you talk big. Let's see if we can back it up. Only requirement is tag DB, pretty good. Slot 1 health restoration by 15% increase, and that's pretty solid. By itself is kind of weird. Usually there's at least one more stat buff or HP buff, something like that with this, but it's fine. Second slot, 15% to own strike and blast defense when 3 battle members are tagged DB. That is really good. And third slot is similar, but it's 12% to own strike and blast attack when 3 battle members are tagged DB. Okay, so this equip combined with this equip, and this is an old equip. It's been in the game. This equip is like the most insane equip in the game when you consider the restriction is only tag DB. And I mean, just look at these 2 slots. 10% to base strike and blast defense per party member using the same equip, and 8% to base strike and blast attack per party member using this same equip. Now, this is just base stats. It's not like pure stats, but it's still really, really strong. Especially considering this first slot. Look at all that. So you definitely want to run this equip if you are running this team, probably in combination with this one, because again, you're going to be getting the pure stats here from this one, which is good. And there is one more new one, which is You Dare Get in My Way, a gold equip. Again, tag DB restriction, that's it, nothing else. Base blast attack 15%, base HP 12%, base strike attack 15%, and 13% to strike and blast defense if this character's episode Dragon Ball Saga. I don't know why they need to even say that when the only like tag DB is a restriction, but okay. kind of pointless to add this, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, this one's not bad. I don't think this is the HP is what really makes this. But honestly, these 3 equips in combination are going to be really strong, especially if we can get more Zenkai buffers for these units. Like, it's looking really good equipment wise for tag DB. So good stuff here. But yeah, guys, overall these units do look pretty well unique to say the least, and I'm really excited for Demon King Piccolo. I will be summoning, so be on the lookout for that video. Should be coming up in a few hours. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think of these new units. Are you gonna summon? Are you not? Probably not is what I would imagine, but if you are, let me know. And if you're not, still let me know. Why not? Is it because you hate Tambourine like I do, or is it because you're saving for anniversary or something else? And yeah, thank you so much for watching once again, and have a great day.